Hello and welcome to Sussex Coast. Let's make a fun stencil together. To make your stencil, you need items that you probably already have in your house. You need some sort of an image. I'm using a book image, but it doesn't have to be. I just love this. You need tracing paper or vellum or even see-through baking paper. Will work just so that you can see your image clearly. And you need some sort of a substrate. Some people use plastic. I used a paper bag, just an ordinary bag that is slightly sturdier than packing paper. Okay, an optional item is carbon paper. That's what I used, but in case you do not have carbon paper, you can just, once your image is traced with your soft pencil, which is another important tool. Okay, once your image is traced, you place it face down on your substrate like so, and then you rub, okay, either with your finger or with the back of a spoon or something. To recap, you will need an image, tracing paper, a pencil, and a substrate like a paper bag. I traced an image from this fantastic book about stone and art. Let me walk you through the carbon paper sandwich. Okay, so the top layer is your tracing paper. Then you have your image. Okay, mine is in a book, so I have to be extra careful. Then I have my carbon paper with the dull side up and shining side towards my substrate, my backing paper, the stuff I'm going to use to make a stencil out of. Okay, because when I then start tracing it here, like so, pressing relatively hard, then the carbon paper will leave a mark on my packing paper. Okay, and then my whole design will be transferred. So to make sure that nothing moves, it would be good to clip everything in place or tape, okay, so that none of the layers move, otherwise it will ruin your design. Okay, I hope you enjoy. I have now finished tracing the design. It took me some time, I'm not gonna lie, but it's very meditative, this process. Okay, so let's check. This is the impression the carbon paper made on our paper bag, and we are now almost ready to start cutting. But before we do cut, I decided to trace over the design just so that it's easier for me to see, and my brain was struggling a little bit, trying to figure out which bits to cut and which bits to leave. And that's why I had to write down for myself several times, leave the black bits. Okay, so I'm just going over. So this is another meditative process. It's definitely not quick, but it is lovely. So if you put a podcast on or you watch another YouTuber crafting, then it's just a really nice, relatively mindless activity that calms your mind, and the end product is something fun for you to play with in your own art. I adapted the design to fit my own ideas a little bit as well, and then I painted the back side black. So this took me ages to cut out with a knife and a small pair of small scissors. It's definitely not quick and easy, but I'm itching to find out what sort of marks it will make. I have a piece of just cheap or poor quality packing paper, which is good for the initial test, I think, because it's essentially it's a paper bag that I've painted over with some black paint. It's quite flimsy, so I'm going to take it down to make sure that I get some sort of an impression that I like. Okay, the stencil is now nice and taped down, and I've also used my marble slabs, where you can totally use something else just to give it a bit of stability. I'm going to use white acrylic paint because I like the effect of white on the sort of craft paper. If you don't have white paint, then you might have pigment inks or gesso or any color you prefer, really. So let's see what's going to happen. This is just a recycled pudding cup, and I'm just using a bit of dishwashing sponge. The trick with stencils, I hear, is that less paint is more. Oh, here we go. Right, so let's see. So I'm tapping it off here. Maybe I should start somewhere inconspicuous. That would be an idea, wouldn't it? Okay, please work. I mean, and even if it doesn't work, I will have had fun. It took me all evening to cut this baby out. And I love the slightly textured bubbly effect this sponge creates. There's a coastal journal inside of me itching to get out, so I think this is going to be a good tool for that journal. I cannot talk and work, as you can see. Here it's definitely too much paint, but it's fine, then we can see the difference. I'm just going over the rest of the stencil also, just to give it more stability. The more layers of acrylic paint you build on it, the more sturdy this paper bag will become. But this is the first time I've made anything so intricate out of a paper bag. I've made like seaweed and coral shapes, but nothing like this. Oh, and even if it doesn't work the way I wanted it to work, I am sure the marks will be good for something. Oh, I love this too. This is like sea spray. Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. Whee! Okay, this is me. I make silly sounds when I'm happy. Apparently it's called voice stimming. Call it whatever you want. I call it glee. Alright. Even if it looks ugly when I pull it off, I will have had fun. So it's already paid off. And nobody else will have the kind of stencil you will have made with your own little hands and wonderful brain. Oh. Okay, do we dare? I say let's do it. Dum, da, da, da. Oh, hello. Where are you stuck? Okay, that's going to be anticlimactic. Okay, please excuse me while I wrestle with the tape. Okay, that's not bad actually. For the first time, it definitely has the sort of landscapey feel to it. So imagine this now, if it's done with watercolors, or you can go in with crayons. Or, or, or you can paint watercolors through this. Oh, there's so many options. Yeah, okay. It is definitely unusual, definitely abstract, and not at all as bad as I thought it would be. I will let this dry and then I'll try again, because I've noticed with stencils, the more you use them, the more you get to know them. Oh, all right. Thanks for sharing this journey with me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.